Hello, everybody, and welcome to Late Night with Kettle, Kitchen, and BLOO.
Hello.
I think you've relived your identity crisis. You now know who you are again.
I don't know. I'm still figuring it out.
Well, your hair is blue, so we'll at least go with that. How's that sound? Are you ready to get started?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Wrong one. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning.
So, Friday night's the night we just talk about whatever, usually.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about something important.
What?
Where did you come up with the color blue?
Oh, that just happened. That happened like it started 20 years ago. Actually, it started on my 30th birthday.
Literally on your 30th birthday.
Started on my 30th birthday. And
what was it like? What was it like to frolic with the dinosaurs? I'm curious. I've always wanted to ask that question.
It's pretty cool, actually.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so it started then, and then I kind of liked it, and then it stayed. And then it stayed for right up until we moved here to this house. Right. It was just going out, like it was washing out at that point when we moved in, and then we were moving in, and then there was the whole plague thing, and then there was more plague thing, and I just stopped doing it.
Oh, the current plague thing. I was like,
yeah.
You were not alive during the Black Plague. I don't care what you're
going to try. It was enough to be the Black Plague over here, let me tell you. So, yeah. So, the current plague. So then I just stopped doing it, and then I just wasn't well enough, and I couldn't be bothered, and, all of that kind of stuff happened. And then, like, I bought the stuff to do it, and then I just couldn't be bothered doing it, and I just didn't do it. And then one day I just decided, nah, stuff it, I'm going to do it.
Okay, fair enough.
So I did, and that was Saturday, wasn't it? Was it Saturday? Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday, Bumpy.
Yeah, it was Saturday after he finished work.
Cool.
Yeah, last week. So, yeah.
So, hold on. I'm trying to make sure this is. Hold on. Okay, I was trying to make sure that was turned down.
Okay.
No, Lori, I didn't. I could never convince Mouse Toast to stay up that late. No. So I kind of alluded, to your beginnings, and you begin just the same way all of us do in YouTube. You start from the first subscriber, start from the first video, and then you get a subscriber, and then you move on from there. I am happy to say this lovely lady reached her 1,000 milestone this last week. You're still sitting at 1,000, so I think you can safely say you're at 1,000 now. And we have somebody that wants to help me congratulate you. That would be Miss Nina from Rooted in Texas. Hello.
Hi, honey.
You're muted, though, just so you know, sister. Hold on. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. You're muted.
Let me try that again. Congratulations. Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you, honey.
I could tell you were enthusiastic. I just couldn't hear the sound that went with it.
My bad.
It's okay. It's all good.
It's
so
I know.
Yeah, I know for a fact, and it's almost been as long as I've known her. She had more than I had, more subscribers than I had, and I don't even remember what the number was when I first met you, BLOO. This lady has been struggling on this milestone for quite a long time.
I don't call it struggling.
I don't mean struggling in the sense of the way you look at it, because I agree. Anything it plays out in a very organic way is the way it's supposed to happen. And I agree with that. I just know you put a lot of years into this, where most people push it in a couple months or whatever their number ends up being. And I know.
Yeah, basically a couple of days ago, I had the same amount of subscribers as I did videos.
Yes.
I had 950 of each.
Right. Yep. But I know I hated, and I'll be honest with you, and to me this is about your experience. This is about, and I know you don't want it to be all about you, and I'm not trying to make it all about you, but I think it's important. I think it's important for people to know it doesn't just boom, you got 1,000. Sometimes you got to work at it. I mean, really. And Nina and Boyce know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Mine didn't happen overnight either. You know?
And the other thing that people don't understand is that only 10% of content creators reach 1,000 subscribers.
Yes. That's a
10%.
When you think of millions of channels out there that are started, and only 10% make it to the 1,000. That's a big deal.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Do you agree, Nina?
Yes, very much. Yeah. I mean, it was a struggle for us.
Yeah.
The fluctuation in the numbers is just like we're up, and then by the time we know it, next week we're like way down, almost like losing as many as we had gained or even more.
Right.
So, yeah.
And I know each of our personal struggles also weigh into that, because I think it's only fair to be honest about that. I know that I've been struggling to hit 1,600 for a very long time, and I'll get 1,592, 1,596, 1,581, 1,589. Then I'm back up to 1,594 again. And it's been like that for a while. So, but I know part of that is to my own attribution. I went probably when my shoulder messed up and I started having problems with my shoulder and my back. I wasn't doing my lives. I'd have to cancel because I couldn't just sit there for 2 hours or an hour even. Yeah. It was a struggle to sit there for 15 minutes at times. And so I'd have to cancel. So I know the part of the lack of numbering is my own fault. I don't know if you guys can attribute your struggle to that as well, or the continued struggle. But I'd be curious to know, so people know that, because real life is real life. Mm-hmm. What do you guys say?
Definitely. Sorry, Nina.
I remember there was times that we took breaks just because we felt burnt out creatively. Mm-hmm. And it was like, if you weren't pumping it out there, people would just lose interest and they move on to the next.
Right.
So yeah, most definitely. I blame that on us too, us taking frequent breaks, and then life, of course. So yeah. I understand how that is, but
I think
people that do it even when they are in the struggle, because we know people that are in the struggle right now that are still pumping out content like nothing, you know. So I applaud those people for sure.
Well, it does take dedication. You have to be dedicated to doing this, whatever that I don't want to say niche because I hate using that word, but really when you figure out what yours is, whatever that is, if you fall off of that, you have a tendency to lose people because of that. Now, I know for myself, as much as it's been a struggle to keep up, especially when I had personal health issues, and even before that, because me and BLOO have talked about this a lot lately, is I don't put out as much non-live content as I used to. And that's not because I don't want to. It's because the lives in themselves, I got to be here on Friday. I got to be here on Tuesday. I was here on Sunday. I have a family also, you know, then throw videos into the middle of that as well. And I think what I should have done was one video a week, one live a week, and called it good, and just left that the way it is. Unfortunately, I was already in it before my brain processed that, if that makes any sense. So I do think for myself, I created my own problem, but I'm very much, and I know Nina and Boyce have been there, and I know BLOO's been there because BLOO's made the comment many times. It's organic. You're either going to come watch me or you're not. If you're not, that's fine. No harm, no foul. But I'm not going to sit there and beg you to come. This is what I have to offer. And if you like it, I hope you enjoy it. If you don't, then there's not much I can do because I have 2 kids that are in school still. I have a mom that we take care of. You know, there's just real life is real life, and it is what it is. So,
yeah.
Would you agree, BLOO?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I've just taken 3 months off.
Right.
I just took 3 months off. I had to.
Right.
My brain was melting and my body was just like, you know, I'm not doing great there either. So it's like I had to take the time out. But what I did was I stayed with my promises that I'd made to do collaboration videos. So there was one collaboration video that came out a month, and it wasn't until I think last month that I started doing the lives again. And it was interesting actually to take those 3 months off, because what I found was that my subscriber numbers were still going up.
That's great though.
That is great.
I was still getting like 200-300 views on my videos a day. You know, and I was like, hey, people are still watching.
Right.
What is the matter with them?
I love it.
You know, so but I do have a couple of videos that are grandfathering really, really well, you know, and they can keep doing that. That's fine. Thank you very much. That's great. I'm not really one for doing a lot of shorts. I don't really like it. Saying that, I probably got one that's coming out today, but I over the next few days.
I don't like doing it, but I got one coming out.
Yeah, well, you know, it was
I might say it's pretty phenomenal. Just to
but I am trying to work towards having my channel the way that I wanted it to be, which was to have each day was a different subject matter on the same subject, if that makes sense. So everything to do with self-reliance and each different area of that, and having a different video come out each day. And over those 3 months, what I did was I was filming a lot and I was editing a lot, and I'm slowly getting stuff out so that, I mean, you know, the videos have started coming out on a Sunday, the videos have started coming out on Saturday, the videos have started coming out on Thursday. There's going to be another one that's going to start coming out on a different day. You know, we do the live on the Friday, and eventually there will be 7 days of content coming out, because it'll be like a self-reliant TV channel, if that makes sense, where it's, you know, it's got its different subjects each day. I mean, some of the stuff I still have to film, that's cool, but I've still got loads of content. Like, I'm putting out videos from stuff that I did at Easter, you know, which is like the stuff that I'm putting out on the Thursdays at the moment. That is stuff that I did around Easter. That's not, I've still got.
That's not yesterday's video.
That's not yesterday's video, no.
Yeah.
No. Some of the stuff I've been putting out on the Sundays, that was stuff that I filmed because I thought I was going into surgery.
Right.
And I wanted to have stuff there for the 8 weeks. Well, some of that I've had to remake because it's now irrelevant, because when it came to the wish list stuff, got half the stuff on some of those wish lists since then, because, I've done it already. But they've actually proven to be really popular, and I didn't realize that, people were into that kind of thing. So, okay, cool. I'll remake them. I don't mind remaking them and putting them out, but I'm going to stick other stuff in between that.
Right.
For the Self-Reliant Sunday stuff, which basically goes around skills, and it's the skills side of things that doesn't fit into the other category. So it's the things like making your cleaning supplies,
right,
and the off-grid stuff, that'll probably be where things like hay box cooking will go, or how to build a hay box for doing hay box cooking and thermal cooking and stuff.
Right.
That kind of stuff will end up on there as well. So it's that kind of stuff. Whereas the Saturday, I already do the live on the Friday. The Saturday, I wanted to do a fermentation day, so I couldn't do fermentation Friday because there's already content on a Friday. So I thought, well, let's do sours Saturday. I really put a spanner in the works. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm starting it off with doing things like yogurt and basic cheeses, because that's all fermented foods.
Right.
I think people think, oh yeah, fermentation, that's just sauerkraut, right? But no, it's not.
Well, I want to throw this out. There's a couple things here, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I want to throw out this for people that don't know it, that are not content creators, not have their own channel, putting videos out. If you put 3 videos out in one single day, you're only getting credit for putting out 1 video for that day. Whereas if you put it out in 3 separate days, you will get credit for putting 3 videos out. Now, it also becomes reliant on that in the algorithm. So you got to watch that as well too, because you want it to push you out there. But if you do 3 videos one week, go to next week and you do 1 video, and then you go back to 2 the week later, and then you go back to 4 the week after that, it's not picking up your algorithm at all.
No. But because then I kind of like playing with it that way too. So
no, and I'm with you on that.
YouTube on its toes.
Me and YouTube have a hate relationship, and I've just come to that conclusion. Okay, I'm done playing the game. I'm going to put out what I want to, when I want, how I want. Yeah. If the algorithm doesn't like it, then it doesn't like it. That's not anything I can do. Then I have to rely on my subscribers coming back and watching, which.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to rebuild that because I took so many weeks off, because of my health stuff. But that's fine. I mean, because I feel like I'm doing what I intended to do, which is to put content out. Okay.
Yeah.
And if it's like right now, we got 5 people sitting in here. I used to do Friday Night Live and we'd have 20 to 30 people. Okay.
Yeah.
I know I've lost some people, but it's also the time of year. That's the other part of it. End of July, August, 1st of September is the suckiest part to get content watched, because everybody's doing everything.
So it's the summer holidays for a lot of people, and the other worst time is over Christmas.
Right.
Because everyone, that's the southern summer holidays.
Right.
And it's, in the southern hemisphere, that's summer holidays, and it's also Christmas. And New Year's, and people are busy.
Yeah.
January is the worst because people are trying to play catch up.
Right.
They're working extra hours. They're doing all of the extra stuff. They're doing all of the, to play catch up, because we all know that you get hit with every bill under the sun in January.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Straight after Christmas.
Well, and the fairness to what you just said, August is the opposite of that. Everybody's trying to play catch up and get as much vacation time or holiday time as they can before school starts back up. So, It's two sides of a coin 6 months apart. That's what it is, really.
That's it.
So, would you agree with all of what we just said, Nina, or would you have a differing thought process to what we're saying?
No, I agree. Like with school being out, they are all traveling, seeing family, doing things with their kids. And then whenever school's about to start, they're busy trying to get everything back into the rhythm of things. So, yeah, I get it. Yeah. I agree.
Well, and you guys start earlier than most do. You guys start like this month, don't you, for school?
Yeah, I believe later on this month it'll be time for the kiddos to get back to school. Yeah.
Wow.
We don't start until I think it's the Tuesday. Well, most of the kids in the area, brick and mortar school, they start the Tuesday after Labor Day. My kids don't start until the 9th of September because they're both doing online schooling by choice.
Okay.
Which I get to be a teacher again for 3 kids.
Yay! Yay, Tony! Let's build.
Yay, Tony! Throw that in the middle of a schedule. But like Rena LaRue said, her Wednesday, her daughter starts school. So there are districts that are already starting back into school this soon.
Wow.
Okay? Yeah. But they're also done probably at the first part of May. That's the exception to it. So, anyways,
I agree with prepping for heaven.
Yes, I do too. Yes, and my son is so my daughter was doing it already. Her friend was doing it, so that's the 2 I did last year. My son decided I want to do homeschooling because I want to be done by March if I can with this year's worth of school. He wants to be ahead of the game. I'm not going to tell him no.
Smart kid.
Yes. Anyway, so that's how we ended up in that route. Okay. But my whole point to all of that is life takes us over whether we like it to or not. I mean, that's just the truth of the matter. So
absolutely.
Now back to you a little bit. Now, actually, I want to go to Nina real quick. Did you guys struggle? How long did it take you guys to get to your 1,000? Did it take a long time?
It took a long time for us. Like, I want to say longer than a year. I want to say maybe between 3 to 4 years, somewhere in there.
Oh, really?
But it's because we weren't really, like, I feel like we're dropping down because I'm not as active on the lives. Because that's how you interact with other people and you get to know their channels and all that stuff. So I believe like we're dwindling down like on the watch hours and stuff. And again, the subscriptions are up, but then they come all the way back down.
Yes.
So I'm like, I'm not even going to look at that anymore. I'm not even going to worry about that. I'm just going to try to put whatever I can out, and keep going from there. I mean, you really can't beat this game unless you go like really, really deep in.
Yeah.
But even if you go deep in, I mean, you're theoretically, I don't want to kibosh anybody's dreams because there are people that have done it. But as well as I do, most of us are not going to hit 1 million subscribers. That's just not going to happen. Okay. So if that's the goal you're trying to attain, find a different gig because I don't think it's going to work. Or you better have something that nobody else has and everybody wants to watch.
Less than 1% of channels get to 1,000 subscribers. Actually, less than 1% get over 100,000. So,
it's even less to get to the million.
Even less than that. So, you got to remember these things and not get butthurt when it doesn't happen.
But I think we all get sucked into that hype when we first start. And I don't care whether you try to prep yourself for it not to happen. Inevitably, you get butthurt because somebody said I should have been at 1,000 6 months ago, and here I am still lingering at 499 and have been for 3 months. Once you get yourself past that, I agree with you, and I agree with where Nina is at, and Boyce, I'm assuming they both agree to that. You just do what you can do, what you want to do, how you want to do it. So that's it. So.
And don't lose focus of why you're doing it.
Which I did. I'll admit on mine, I lost focus of why I started it, and I need to get back to it, which I will. I've already decided that. Yeah. I just got to do it. Now, why did you guys start, just out of curiosity? Why did you start your channels? BLOO.
I chose to do it because I couldn't chef anymore.
Fair enough.
I couldn't actually practically be a chef, so I thought, well, if I share what I'm doing, and then I thought, well, hang on a second. I wrote this program back in 2000 to help teen parents be able to look after their kids properly. I wrote a 5-year mentoring program that included everything they needed to know, from gardening to budgeting to cooking to cleaning to preparing food to preserving food to looking after their homes, how to make stuff for themselves, kids stuff, all of that kind of stuff. Everything was written in this thing, and it was supposed to be a 5-year mentoring program, and it got run in different ways. You know, there was groups, there was workshops, there was all sorts of stuff, and in one place there was a 12-month mentoring program that ran like that. At the moment, I'm working on getting it out there again in a face-to-face format. But I thought, you know what, I can put this out there doing this how I'm doing it. And I kind of got sucked into how other people were doing their thing. And if you look at my first videos and stuff like that, there's a lot of that in there where I'm trying to be the vloggy gardener and the vloggy cook and all of that kind of stuff, and it didn't work for me. It didn't work for me because to me it wasn't. Yes, I mean, so the format that I use now I'm happier with, because you know I can focus, you know, what I'm doing. I just do what I do whether I want to be talking or not. I find it hard to talk and do. I need to be able to just do, and then I do the voiceover afterwards. So that works better for me, and you know, that's what I'm kind of working on now. So yeah.
So how does Nina, for your channel, have you guys figured out whether voiceover or live videoing works better for you guys?
I love that Voice is doing the videos with me, because at first it was just me.
Right.
Voice brings in the commentary, the comedic side of it, all things, because I feel like I'm more reserved and I'm more cautious and self-conscious about what people think and what they say and how they're going to judge me. As in Voice, he's just a goofball and he just does voice things.
Yeah.
Right.
And he lightens up my mood, and it like I call him my what is it called? My emotionally support person. Instead of emotionally support animal, he's my emotionally support person.
My wife calls me her equal opportunity offender. So.
And I don't know,
Sorry.
like we haven't really found our thing. I know that we love doing a lot of different things. That's why we didn't like put ourselves in a box saying like we are only going to do gardening and gardening only.
Right.
I love that we're open to whatever product reviews, cooking, any kind of collaboration. Voice loves the cooking collaborations.
We love having you.
But sometimes, like during the holidays, he's like, babe, we gotta like cut ourselves back a little bit because all these collaborations are coming out and we're getting asked. And I know you want to do them all because, you know, it helps with the content, it helps getting people in and everything, but we're getting burned out. Like, let's just be honest, we're getting burned out. We're working, we've got things going on in lives, and it's almost hard for me to just like step back and just because I feel like I'm missing out. I like to have fun, and I like to share our creativity and be in the loop, I guess, with you guys whenever you're doing like anything for Christmas or Thanksgiving or whatever. But I think mostly I'm starting to relearn that it's about having fun and just kind of doing things with my friends that are not near me, that are over the pond and somewhere else, you know. So like, yeah, I mean, we just haven't found really our thing. I don't think we would ever put ourselves in a box.
No.
But I think you do far better if you don't put yourself in a box, because I think you enable yourself to be able to be brought into other collaborations that maybe you weren't considered for before, or not even collaborations, but connecting with another group that you may not have felt like you were a part before because you only did cooking, but somebody that does fishing really likes you guys and wants to include you. Well, then now you can be a part of it if you don't box yourself in and say, no, I'm only doing cooking. So
yeah.
Would you agree with that, BLOO, that makes it a lot easier?
Absolutely. I mean, like if because you guys are basically homesteaders, so there's a lot of elements to that, and you know, I think that's what I struggled with, because at the start it was the channel name was Blue's Food.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, at the beginning it was Blue's Food, so it was supposed to be from garden to table food and all that kind of stuff. But obviously we're in the other flat and we didn't grow that much. We grew a little bit, but not that much. Because we just didn't have the space. I mean, we still don't have the space. We got a bit more than we had, but you know.
Can I interrupt just for a second? And I want, because of you said something and I want to hit on it. I think that there's a tendency that if you get into whatever you feel like, okay, don't misunderstand me, because I'm agreeing with Nina. I don't think you need to box yourself in, but we have a tendency to put ourselves in a box, if that makes any sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to see where you fit and whatnot. Okay. That all being said, that was one of the reasons I didn't think I fit in with the Thursday night homesteading hangout. I'm not a homesteader like those people are homesteaders.
Yeah.
Okay. And as much, even though you said me and Nina and Boyce are homesteaders, I think they're more of a homesteader than I am. I didn't even grow anything but 2 tomato plants this year because all my seeds died off. I said, and I gave up on it because I said, so my level of homesteading this year went in the tank. Okay. That's the honesty of it. Okay. But it doesn't mean moving forward that I'm not still considering myself in that realm. I just was not as active as I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Okay. But I had to get that in my own head that it's kind of like my canning. I did 1,200 jars of canned items in my first year, or 1,900 jars. Okay. My second year, I did 12. And my third year, I did 6. At some point, you realize that, okay, maybe 1,200 jars is a little too much. Then you realize, okay, maybe 900 is still too much. Okay. The point is learning that modification and that, okay, what's normal? What should I be doing each year? I don't have to do apple butter every single year. It's something I can do once every 3 years. This, that, or the other, whatever it is. Okay.
Unless you're blessed with apples and you have no idea what to do with them.
Different story, my sister. Yes, I agree. Okay. But that goes with peaches or broccoli or strawberries or cherries or whatever it is. I don't care what it is. It still fits to what you just said. If you're blessed with it and you have an abundance of it, by all means, do something with it. Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, like, what I've discovered is that, like, every 4 years, fruit trees will go mental. Literally mental.
Oh, the fruit trees go mental?
Yeah. The fruit trees, the nut trees will all go mental every 4 years. So you'll have an overabundance every 4 years that you know, that you'll be like, what is the matter with you? What happened? Where have you been? So
Right.
but you get your normal harvest every other year, but then you end up with this 4-year thing. So you do all the things that you don't normally do because you're doing all of those things, but it will last. If you do it correctly, it will last.
It will.
And see you over that 4 years. I mean,
Right.
it's like the raspberries this year.
Can I just say,
They were 5 plants. 5 little raspberry plants we put in there last year. 5.
and
It's taken over 2/3 of the front garden.
welcome to the jungle.
Literally.
But I think all of us have experienced that to some degree, because I was that way with, it was last year, but I had all those tomato plants sitting in that one planter. I quickly learned I put way too many tomato plants in together, because it was like they came out and it's like nothing. Poof! Here's hundreds of thousands of tomatoes. I hope you have something to do with them because they're ready to go. And I'm like, oh,
But that's the learning curve about gardening.
Ultimately, yes.
Every year you learn something new and you're like, okay, I'm not going to do that again.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Maybe whenever it gets warmed up, I can uproot some of these raspberries and put them somewhere else.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be getting rid of some. We're going to have to dig up a whole heap of the canes because they're already spread towards the office and go through the squash plants. And I'm like, oh, hell no. No. This is not happening.
That's funny. When we first moved in here, we started with 3 raspberry plants. We had no blackberry plants. This year, I couldn't get the kids to eat them fast enough. That's how many raspberry plants we had.
Wow.
I now have 7, I have 7 regular blackberry plants and 2 thornless blackberry plants. And I decided because where we put it and how some of them are, what do you call that? What do they call when they do it on their own?
Is it reseeded itself?
Not quite.
No?
Well, they've got runner roots though.
They got runner roots, but they call it something. I know the word I'm thinking. I know it's here. I just can't think of what the word is. But they're where they start on their own. They'll start on their own, and you don't have them in a planter box, but they'll root anyway.
Okay, they're
volunteer. That's the word. Volunteer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Self-propagating. Thank you.
Self-propagating. That works too. Yes. Okay. But the point I'm trying to get to is that now I think there's 13 raspberry plants actually now that I just remember, because I forgot we have another section, but they all come from those 3 plants, and so now I want to get them lined. Hattie said, remember Dad, every other year would have to go out and re-thin them out, and because they will take over. And it's like, but that's part of the gardening process. I have no problem with it goes back to what Nina said. It's that learning it's that learning the curve and knowing what you have to do. And that's where I feel like I'm at as far as the gardening part of it. Me and BLOO have talked about, there's quite a few things I want to do for next year. And I wanted to do them this year, but what I did do, it burned out, and I wasn't going to fight with it. I mean, I just was done. I was given 4 tomato plants. I split them up into big pots, and I said, that's my tomato plants. So it is what it is. Mm-hmm. I'm not stopping the homesteading part of it. It just is a modified, scheduled down version of it, with the intention to moving forward next year, I'll be back to where I was. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So, you always get into a point, or you get into a process, I guess, and I want to know if you both agree to this. You get to where you're having to modify, manipulate, change, move, whatever, constantly.
Oh yeah.
Because it's just dependent on what you're bringing in, what's going out, and what you were able to do or not able to do. Nina, you guys fell into a really crappy situation where you lost some of your stuff, you know? So you guys probably are in that realm as well. How do we make it so next year maybe it's not as bad, you know?
Yeah.
My whole point is we all go through it. I know, Blue, you did too, but for different reasons. You know, you went through gardening hysteria, we'll call it. Woes, that's another way to put it. But we all do it, is the whole point. But we all do it, and I think if you put a channel out there that does just like Blue does just like Nina and Boyce are doing, and does just like I do, where you have a variety of different things you do, theoretically it shouldn't be boring for people. They should want to come back and watch it. You know, it's whether you grasp them or you don't. That's the hard part.
I like to try to keep our videos as real life as possible. Like if my tomato plants are not looking all that great, guess what? I'm not going to go over there and prune everything and make it look as pretty as possible. Like, no, this is real life. This is like, if you're going to plant a tomato, you possibly might run into this problem. So it's best to show people instead of getting their hopes all high. Like, oh, Nina and Boyce is making it look really easy. I can do this. Like, and I'm just want to be like, no, honey, like everybody struggles. Some years we're really good at it. Other years, for whatever reason, we just end up with blight, you know, or something. And
but I think the good thing about that thought process is there's a reality to it. Okay, we're all here to agree to this. I already know, because I know your guys' stories. Just because I go out and put out 100 tomato seeds, I am here to tell you, doesn't mean I'm going to end up with 100 tomato plants. That is not the way this works. Okay, and it's trial and error on what you end up with. It's trial and error on the varieties you use. It's trial and error every year, different. Because your weather changes or your moisture changes or whatever it is. Okay. So don't beat yourself up because it didn't work. I think Nina really hit the nail on the head. It's really learning a process. It's a continual learning of the process that may change from year to year, but it doesn't mean you're bad at what you do. You just have real life struggles. So
it's also about reading what your garden is doing. Okay, so our front garden when we moved in here was basically a meadow and a place where the local dog walkers were using to walk their dogs. And it caused us a lot of issues for the first 6 months. In fact, I had someone who actually let his dog run into our house and came right at me, up in my face. Like 6'4", and a full foot taller than me, and I went, "You do realize that I can just take you out right now, mate?" And it was like, "What?" I said, "Get your dog out of my house, or I will fucking kill you." And he was like, "What?" I mean, I'm not even kidding. I'm not playing. You know, and you know, I just grabbed what we have hanging by the front door, and he went, "Oh, I really didn't realize." And I said, "Well, it's our garden. You know, it's not for your dogs. Just because it hasn't been looked after. We've just moved in. How dare you?" You know, you're the one in control of your dog. Your dog should be on the lead. You shouldn't be doing this in people's yards. So he finally moved. He hasn't been back.
That's wonderful.
Which is good, you know.
For him.
Well, yeah, for him. Because Tanny was all for finding out who this guy was, following him home and doing a dump on his front. So, yeah, that's the kind of person. Yeah, he would have done it.
Oh, that's funny.
Every time a guy walked past with a certain type of dog, he goes, "Is that him?" I was like, "No."
Boyce talks about doing things like that, and I'm like, "You better not. You better not." It's like, I'll do it. You know I will.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Taddy will
no.
just do it. And then the only way that I can stop him from doing it is not letting him know who that person is.
Right. You
I know
prevent
who that
the
person is.
situation.
He walks past my house 3 times a goddamn day. Yep, I know exactly who he is. I've watched his dog grow up, but will I tell Tanny? Absolutely not.
No. So I think I really want to turn. I mean, because we've been on here almost 45 minutes now. I want to turn just for a minute and say congratulations, because I think your achievement is something you've worked towards. It's something that you now have a realization of. I think it will open doors for you. I think, and I don't mean that in
I don't understand that. I need some clarification on that.
Okay, what
so
do you?
Why would it open any more doors for me? Because I have 1,000 subscribers and because I had 950.
Well, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay.
Okay.
So a little more clarification so everybody totally understands the situation, because not everybody knows. Danny from
Wicked Awesome Garden.
Right. She shouted her name out on Facebook, and
that's why I went over the top. Yeah.
Okay. My point is that I think the larger your number gets, and now that you're over 1,000, I have a feeling you may start realizing this as you go, because you're going to have new people that are going to go back and check out 1 or 2 videos, or 10 or 20 videos, or I remember her, or there's BLOO. I just joined her channel and she's now in a collaboration. I want to watch this. Now I want to watch the rest of the collaborators. It's a networking, a self-networking device. That's what I'm referring to. Okay.
Yeah, I get
it. Is it going to give you 10,000 subscribers? No, that's not what I mean. What I'm saying is that it will become a networking device on its own for you. Right. The more people that do reach out. And I think all of us fit into that at some point. It's just, where is that? You know, mine hit probably around 5 to 750. It lasted until I hit 15, and then it kind of slowed down. But that's on me, on my own problem, because I chose to do the style of formatting that I did. I want to start doing and putting at least 1 video out a week so that it can start regenerating it. But that has to be something that I do. One other clarification I want to make, because I see you're sitting in here. I did a second boo-boo with Stephanie. Stephanie has changed her name to A Pinch of Sweet. Twice now I've sent out collaboration notifications calling her A Pinch of Salt. Anybody that's in here that's in the collaboration, please change her name to A Pinch of Sweet. I will send an email out tomorrow. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
I just wanted to throw that out there just so everybody knew. I make mistakes too. It's fine. Yeah. It is what you do.
We all do it. We all do it. I mean, like I hold my hands up every single time, but I'm also in my videos now. I'm starting to show when I make mistakes, because I don't think
there's nothing wrong with that.
You know, I want, because I mean, yes, I'm going for a longer format for some of the stuff because I want to show the skills. Because there was something that, like, because I've started doing a live with Tom on a what would be my Monday morning is your Sunday night. One of the things that his grandson said to him is that, I've been watching your videos, Granddad, but you get to doing a skill and then you cut it off. You know, well, I don't know how to do that skill. And I'm kind of watching to see you do it, and then it's gone. So
what you're referring to is like, if Tom is going into Julianne something for a dish, and then just does it and moves on and never goes back to how you Julianne something. Okay.
Yeah. So, which is why some of my videos now, you'll see me go through the process in real time, and especially with like the Top Up Thursday videos, which are all about preserving food and topping up your pantry and stuff like that. Right. I'm doing it because I'm also, the other big argument people have is not only that they don't have the skill, they don't think they have the skills or whatever, but it's also the time. People say, I don't have time for that. Oh, really? Oh, really?
It's a perceived
Let's
time.
see how long it really takes. And then,
Right.
but I'm doing it in not chef time either. I'm not doing it chef speed. I'm doing it me chilling out watching a movie speed. Okay. So, yes, it takes a bit longer, but it's also not chef speed. And I'm not going to do things for that in chef speed because I'm sitting at home watching a movie when I'm doing these things.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to be, you know, I've got no time crunch.
Right.
You know, I'm just going to sit there and just do me while I do it because while I feel like doing it, I'm going to do it. But
well,
it's
you also have limitations too. Some of that is, you know, you've got to take it slow because you can only do X, Y, and Z, whatever that may be.
Yes.
And so that helps you facilitate that length of process. And again, I mean, in the end of it, you're correct. There is no time crunch for you. So,
no,
you know, you're not trying to slam something out in a half hour. If it takes you 2 hours to do it, it takes you 2 hours to do it.
Yeah. Now I have to admit, right? Okay. So I wasn't sure if this video would do, you know, okay or not really. But it's the one I put out on Thursday. Now that video is an hour and 14 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about freezing carrots, how you do it from go to woe.
Mm-hmm.
That's all, right?
Right.
It's doubled views. From what I would normally get for a video like that, it is doubled views.
Wow.
And I'm like, wait, what? This is working.
But that's what I'm trying to say when
you know,
you
people need that.
This is kind of really what I was trying to say earlier when I said that I have a hate relationship with YouTube. Part of it is because the way the algorithm is supposedly set up. When we all started, and I know all of us started roughly about BLOO was a little bit longer, and I think Nina and Boyce were longer than me, and then I come in later. So I mean that's basically I think the way it happened. But the point is I know when I started, they were saying your video shouldn't be any more than 8 minutes long. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do this. You should do this, and you should do this. And I'm here to agree with what you just said. If anybody can make 114-minute long video, double the views, I don't think the algorithm really gives two craps about how you do it.
There's a reason for that. There's a new CEO or there's a new chief executive of operations at YouTube. And he's realized that people are watching YouTube on the TV.
Yes.
So he's trying to encourage channels to do longer format content. Because
I see Nina doing the same thing I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But he's trying to encourage people to do longer format content.
I know.
Because people are sitting there. I mean, we do it. Okay. We don't watch terrestrial TV. Because we just don't. We refuse to get a TV license because it's all cack anyway. So it's like, you know. So they
have to buy a TV license to watch TV over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't even get me started because it's BS, but
and that's you know, that was started for the BBC, which at the time was a completely neutral channel and had to be because it's publicly owned, right?
Right.
And the whole point of the license fee is that it remains publicly owned and it doesn't run ads or anything like that.
Right.
But over the last 10 years, shall we say, it has become very, very obvious it is not, and it's not doing what it's supposed to or what its remit is. So we flat out refuse to give them any money because stuff them.
But I think when you go back to what you just said, and if what you are saying is correct, and this guy's realizing this, think about the potential each of our channels could have.
Yeah.
Think about the content you could put out.
Yeah.
Educating, reinforcing skills,
Yeah.
Showing new stuff, because I know when I very first went to YouTube, my very first time, it wasn't watched a cartoon or a movie. It was just, hold on a second, because Lori said, people want to learn. I went looking how to do something is the whole reason why I got connected to YouTube.
Yes.
Okay. And I think it's very important for us as content creators to take that into consideration. Absolutely. With the materials we're now putting out. Do it now. Don't be behind the game and be too late, because something else will be moving in, you know?
Absolutely. That's the point. And
nice comment there, Nina.
Yeah. Foodies unite. Absolutely. Yes. I mean, like, the thing for me is this now gives me the forum that I wanted to have for my channel.
Right.
Yes, right. I still have to have certain parts of my content on a different platform because they won't allow it here without causing me issues. And as far as I'm concerned, they can
bugger off.
Yeah. But I'll do it over there if that's what I have to do. Right. And hopefully the internet issues will be sorted out enough that I will be able to do that shortly. But, you know, right now, though, it means that I've got a forum where I can do the longer format videos. And they're going to be further up. I mean, yes, I'm putting a lot of work behind the scenes into the tagging and all of that kind of stuff as well. I'm trying to get chapters on all my videos. I'm trying to do all of the things, you know, and trying to get the name right on the title.
Oh, okay.
All of that kind of thing, you know, and I'm trying to play by the rules to a certain degree. I don't like playing by the rules. I don't like doing it. It's very annoying.
I get it.
Yeah, but I'm doing what I can. And if it means that I get my stuff out there a little bit better, because these videos are ones that I will be using in my, or they will be videos that I can send students to when I'm doing face-to-face.
Right.
Groups or workshops and stuff like that. If you're not sure about this, again, go back and watch this video, because this video will show you that again in real time, so you can do it with them. You know,
I think looking at everything that's available for us, and Nina, I really would like to hear if you and Boyce have something you're considering, not necessarily divulging what it is, but are you guys looking at different things maybe in the future to do? And I'll give you an example. I am going to start. I don't care if anybody else picks it up and does it. I don't own it, so I'm not going to stop it. But I'm going to start a new short, and I think it's something I can do on Fridays. Not Friday. I don't want to do Fridays. Actually, probably Mondays or something. I'll figure it out, whatever day it's going to be. But it'll be a short on YouTube. It'll be an Instagram, and it'll be a Facebook reel. And it's just going to be a very short thing. Want to learn something, and something of historical about food, where it came from, who it is that primarily uses it, eats it. If you want more information, here's a website and a recipe you could go try it out at. I think part of, based on what you just said about more people watching YouTube for TV versus just a computer, I think it's smart to move into that realm. And
exactly,
Tom. Yeah. All I'm trying to say is I think it's our responsibility to try to find innovative and new ways to do things, but it doesn't mean it has to break your bank in doing that. It's just come up with an idea, come up with a thought process. Even if it replicates somebody, who cares? It's more content you can get out, and when you can, modify it so it's your own.
Yeah.
See, it's not just about the replication. See, you can have 100 different people doing the same thing.
Right.
But you will only reach the person who needs to reach you. They might have watched 5 other people do it, but for some reason, the way you're doing it clicks.
Right. Fair enough.
It could be a tone in your voice. It could be just the fact that you are you. You know, it could just be that, you know, I mean, I get a bit sarcastic in my videos, and I think that kind of helps sometimes.
No, you don't. Not at all.
Girl, please. No.
You know, and because I'm not going to sit there and just be like, whatever. I'm
You're not going to fluff us up.
No. So, you know, and I think that works for some people. It may not work for others, and that's fine. And there may be 30,000 other videos on how to freeze carrots, but the people who want to see mine will watch it, and they'll watch it all the way through. I've got an 83%, 100% viewage on that.
Right.
And I'm like, what?
Viewage, is that a word?
Viewage, yeah, that's viewage.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Viewage.
Hello, Andale,
No,
Tom, everybody. Thank you for coming in.
Say 80 odd people have watched that video from Go to Woe.
Right.
That's bonkers.
It is. All right. We're at a minute. Here's what I want to do. Okay.
Hey, my friend.
Everybody that's in chat, give a funky how do you do to Miss Blue for reaching 1,000 subscribers. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I want to give each of you one last opportunity to say something if there's something you want to say or whatever. So we'll start with Nina.
Basically, your people are going to come to you. You might not be for everyone, but the people that are meant to be there, they will be there. Now, if we might not find our hundreds and thousands, but the fact of the matter is if that one person watches you, then it's worth it. And yes, we put in a lot of work with editing, trying to make something up, very creative, very whatever the thing is. But as long as you take pride in what you do and love what you do, and your people will find you. So
yes,
couldn't have been said any better. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Blue,
I mean,
how about you?
Yeah, it goes back to the movie, doesn't it? If you build it, they will come.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
You know, and just keep going, because you don't know. I mean, I think having that 3 months off for me really opened my eyes a lot, because I could see my numbers still going up, even though I wasn't putting anything out really. And it was like, hang on a second. People are still watching. People are still, you know, they want to see more because they've obviously subscribed. So, you know, it's time. Yeah, Field of Dreams. Absolutely. Field of Dreams. It's absolutely true. You know, if you build it, they will come. But don't give up. Just be resilient. Also, don't see things, take things personally.
That's a big one for a lot of us to learn the hard way, I think. But it's
take it personally.
You have to. Yeah.
And don't try and be somebody else. Be you.
No.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
we've all learned the hard way that you got to be you, and if you're not going to be you, be honest about it and let them know why. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we've been on here long enough, so I'm going to let you both go because it's late and it's early, and yeah.
Well, it's not like I can go make breakfast, is it?
You can go make breakfast. Nina needs to go over and dust that piano off. I see a few dust flakes over there. I was going to ask you earlier, what kind of fireplace did you get? Because I seen a hand growing out of it earlier.
Just moved to
all of a sudden, I just see a hand reach out. I was like, that was interesting. It was great. I loved it. All right. Well, thank you guys, and you have a great night. And thank you everybody that came in. Thank you everybody that modded. I now gave Lori and Nina. You guys have wrenches now.
Thank
you. Yay! We have new spanners.
Yes, I think Rena LaRue gave too as well. So. And I like doing that. It's not that I want everybody in chat to have a wrench. That's not my point. It's some nights you have 3 of these people, some nights you have 3 different people, some nights you have 4 other people. So it's nice to just have a mix, and they know what to do, and they've been here long enough watching us. I think it's great. So all right. Well, thank you guys. Have a good week. Be safe, and we'll be here next week. Bye.
Bye.